Amy. It's good to see you again.
Good seeing you.
How's your week been?
It's been okay.
Just okay?
Yeah.
Well, I know last time you were here, you talked to me a little bit about your husband and your son, and so I know that you're a stay-at-home mom now, right?
Yes.
And your son just went off to preschool.
Yeah.
Okay. And last time we talked about how it was your husband who wanted you to come here and see me, and that you didn't really agree with that. Is that still kind of how you feel?
Yeah, I don't see why. I mean, I understand he wants me to come, but I don't know why. I don't really have a drinking problem.
So is that a phrase that he used, a drinking problem?
Yeah, that's what his words are.
Okay, so that's kind of why you're here, because you value him. Is your relationship with him important to you?
Oh, yeah. We've been married for 20 years and still feel the same way I did when we first met, so.
That's good. It sounds like y'all have a good relationship then. And how important is your son to you?
Extremely important. I quit my job as soon as I was pregnant to, make sure that I had a healthy pregnancy, and he was carried to full term.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like family is something you really value. Is on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you say how important is your family to you?
I would say they're 10 to me.
Yeah, that's pretty high. As high as you can go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, is family the most important thing to you?
I would say so, yeah. I've always centered my, world around my kid, my child. As soon as he was born, we spent every day together and get up and do activities. And now he's off in preschool and there's nobody home.
So, what does a typical day look like for you now that he's at preschool?
I get up and I get him off to school, and then I come home, and there's nothing much for me to do. Occasionally, my friend might be off from work because she still works at the same job that we used to, and we'll go out and have drinks at work, or I'll drink at home. But I mean, I don't see that I have a drinking problem.
So, do most of your friends still work? And how often does your husband work?
He works about 80 hours a week, so I rarely ever see him. Yeah.
So, what was your relationship like with your son when he was home? Was he kind of your main person that you hung out with?
My main focus, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a big change then, to go from being with somebody 24 hours a day to now you have all this time during the day for yourself.
Yeah, I just don't know what to do, because when I graduated, college, I always worked, and then got pregnant with him, and so he was my focus, and now he's off in preschool, and I don't have my job anymore, and my husband's working 80 hours a week, so.
Can you tell me, what are some things you like to do for fun?
I don't know, I haven't really thought of that, because my son was always my focus. I used to like working, and I loved my job, I was good at it, and I loved the kids that I worked with.
So you don't really have any hobbies now?
No.
Do you think that would be something that would, give you something to do during the day, maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah? What would you think about joining some clubs? Or are you a member of the PTA at your son's school?
Yes, I am.
You are? So that's kind of something that you're involved in. Are you involved in any other, groups or organizations or anything like that?
Not anymore. I mean, when I was in college, I liked to swim, but I don't do much of that anymore. Just taking care of him.
Have you ever thought about taking back up swimming?
I mean, that's been a possibility that I've thought about.
Yeah, I know that, a lot of gyms have pools, and there are even some swim teams for adults. That could be something that you could maybe get involved in, because it sounds like you're kind of missing that connection with people now that your son's off at school and your friends are at work and your husband's at work. Has your drinking kind of prevented you or held you back from doing anything that you feel like you wanted to do or should have done?
I don't feel like my drinking's getting in the way. I mean, I'm at home and nobody else is there, and so I'm drinking there or going out and having margaritas with the girls. I don't feel like it's causing any problems.
Yeah, so is it mainly during the day when you're drinking then? And there's not really anything that you were supposed to be doing at that time, since you're not really working or involved in anything?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
I might have missed something a couple times, and maybe that's why my husband thinks I have a drinking problem.
Hmm. So you might have missed events, or what do you think you missed?
Events with my kids' school,
Oh,
PTA
okay.
meetings.
Okay. So is the PTA and being involved in your son's school something that's important to you?
Yeah, because it still allows me, the chance to be with my child,
Mhm.
and, still see him and interact with him during the day.
Mm-hmm. And be connected to him and to other parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you said that you've missed one or two of those since you started drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the things that you like about drinking?
It just kind of numbs the pain, I don't feel as lonely.
Mm-hmm.
It's always something that's always there.
Yeah. It's kind of taken away that feeling of isolation that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that being around other people in some way would kind of help numb that pain or take that away?
I guess it depends on the people because,
Yeah.
I do go out with my girls and we do have, the happy hour and we have margaritas, so.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you're worried if maybe you cut back on that, that's kind of one of your only social opportunities that you have, and you don't want to kind of interfere with that since that's some of the only time that you see them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever do other things with them, like take a painting class or go for a walk or do things that aren't centered around drinking?
Not really. That's usually all we kind of have time for is just to go out and grab dinner and have drinks. So.
Mm-hmm. Since they're still working.
Mm-hmm.
Have you met any other moms of your kids' friends that don't work like you?
I've met one, but I haven't really talked to her very much.
Mm-hmm. Because it sounds like those hours during the day are kind of the times where you're most lonely when people are at work. So that might be a good opportunity for you to kind of either rekindle that connection with the one mom that you've already met or kind of meet some other moms through PTA that don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you think would help?
Maybe, yeah. So I have some type of interaction with somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's hard to go from interacting with one person all day long to all of a sudden having no one around. So, yeah. What is that? Do you have other friendships other than, your friends that still kind of work? How long have y'all been friends?
My work friends, we've been friends through college, so we've been
Okay.
friends for quite a while.
So it's been a while since you've kind of had to take that first step and try to make a new friend.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that's kind of what's holding you back? Just kind of being out of practice
Yeah.
and. Mm-hmm.
Because, I am kind of shy, so
Mm-hmm.
it makes it hard to meet new people.
Right, right. Is that something else that you like about drinking, that it kind of makes you less shy
It
or?
gives me more courage to
Mhm.
go out and
Right. Do you see any cons or downsides of drinking?
not really.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I can think of. It might not be good for my son to see me drinking, but like I said, I don't think I have a drinking problem, so if he sees me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he fully comprehends what, all
Right.
this drinking, so.
Mm-hmm. Since he's so young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it sounds like your drinking, has it always been like this or has it just started recently?
My drinking problem?
Well, what your husband sees as your drinking problem.
Yeah. It just started recently. It hasn't been going on that long. He may think I have a drinking problem, but he really doesn't know me that much anymore because he's never home anyways.
Mm-hmm. Did it start when your son went off to preschool?
Yeah.
Kind of around that time.
Mm-hmm. I've had drinks before, before he was born. My husband started working 80 hours, but.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like this kind of increase in drinking started around the time that maybe your increase in loneliness started too, when your son went off to preschool.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that you see a connection between those two?
That seems pretty accurate to say that, because he went off, I started drinking. I feel like when me and my husband first got married, we spent a a lot of time together, and then bills started rolling in, so now he's working 80 hours a week, and I feel like sometimes he chooses his job over me, and now my son is off in preschool, and I'm feeling that loneliness again. So
yeah, and that's understandable.